Look, let's cut the fluff. Everyone gets angry. You feel it when you're broke, when you're disrespected, when life punches you in the mouth and expects you to smile. But here's the harsh truth. Most people waste that anger. They vent it, cry about it, tweet about it, and then go right back to being losers. But not you. Not anymore. You're gonna learn to direct your anger. Control it. Turn it into fuel. Because the world doesn't care how you feel. It only respects what you do. Anger is energy. Pure power. When you give it a purpose, it becomes your greatest weapon. You're tired of being out of shape? Use that rage. You're sick of being broke? Get obsessed. You're done being overlooked, stepped on, underestimated? Good. Let that fire inside you become a nuclear reactor, not a campfire. You don't need therapy. You need discipline. You don't need pity. You need results. Every time someone doubts you, every time you fail, every time you get humiliated, use it. Remember it. Don't escape it. Embrace it. Let anger sculpt your body. Let it build your empire. Let it sharpen your mind. Then when people ask how you did it, tell them, I gave direction to my anger. Anger gets a bad reputation because weak people abuse it. They explode, lash out, lose control, and then blame the emotion instead of themselves. But anger in its pure form is energy. It's a surge of power that hits your body and mind like lightning. It's not evil. It's not toxic. It's natural. The problem isn't anger. It's how most people misuse it. They let it control them, instead of grabbing it by the throat and putting it to work. Think about the last time you felt genuinely pissed off. Your heart was racing. Your vision narrowed. Your brain went in overdrive. That wasn't weakness. That was your body giving you high-octane fuel. That fire in your chest, that wasn't just rage. It was potential. But without a goal, that energy gets wasted. It turns into shouting, blaming, scrolling endlessly, or worse, doing nothing. Imagine if you had harnessed it. Imagine if you redirected it into building something instead of breaking down. Every successful person on this planet has felt anger. The difference is, they used it. They didn't numb it or drown it in distractions. They took that sharp edge and carved out a path. Anger isn't the enemy of discipline. It's the origin. The moment you say, I'm done being average, or I refuse to be weak, that's anger speaking. Righteous anger. The kind that changes lives when it's backed by action. If you're never angry, you're probably too comfortable. Most people confuse calm with control. But real control is feeling that storm inside you and choosing to direct it instead of running from it. You can use caffeine, pre-workout, hype music, but nothing compares to the intensity of anger when it's focused. It gives you edge. It keeps you awake when others quit. It makes you run faster, lift heavier, study harder. The trick is not letting it become emotional chaos. It has to be channeled with precision. Think sniper, not grenade. You're sitting on a nuclear reactor of power every time you get angry. But reactors only produce value when they're engineered correctly. That's your job. Engineer your reaction. Recognize that your anger is a sign that something needs to change, and then make the change with intent. Don't waste your fire screaming into void. Use it to light the path forward. Anger without aim is destruction. Anger with... You see it every day. Someone gets angry about their situation. Maybe they hate their job. Maybe they're tired of being broke. Maybe they've had enough of being ignored. And instead of fixing it, they complain over and over in group chats, in tweets, on their lunch break. And then they go right back to the same miserable routine that caused the anger in the first place. That's not venting, that's surrender. That's surrender. They've accepted being stuck. Their anger becomes a therapy session instead of a weapon. Worse than that, some people numb it. They drink it away. Scroll it away. They distract themselves to avoid facing the raw truth that their life isn't what it could be. Instead of doing something about it, they chase quick dopamine to mask the pain. That's the formula for failure. Dull the rage, avoid the mirror, and stay comfortable in the chaos. You can't win if you're afraid to feel. You can't grow if you run from discomfort. People say things like it's not healthy to be angry, but what's really unhealthy is being angry and doing nothing with it. So, if you feel rage about your life, your body, your finances, your relationships, that's your mind telling you this isn't it. That's your inner voice screaming, fix it. But when you ignore it or waste it on drama and noise, you're killing your own evolution. Anger is a call to action. Not a call to post. Not a call to pout. A call to move. They waste it because they were never taught what it really is. Momentum waiting to happen. power waiting for purpose. You can either blow up and burn bridges, or you can build something with the same heat. Most people won't. They're stuck on the emotional treadmill, going nowhere, convincing themselves they're processing when really they're just procrastinating. And they'll still be angry 5 years from now, in the same place, wondering why nothing changed. Boy. It's not because they didn't feel enough, it's because they didn't do enough. Controlled anger is a weapon, but most people walk around swinging it like a drunk with a sledgehammer. That's why they break everything. Relationships, opportunities, even their own self-worth. They never learned that anger isn't supposed to be wild. It's supposed to be precise. You don't need to rage out to be powerful. Real power is quiet. It simmers. It watches. It waits. The ones who scare the world aren't the ones shouting. They're the ones grinding in silence, letting their fury forge results. Anger, when controlled, turns into unmatched focus. It's the edge that keeps you locked in when distractions tempt you. It's the voice in your head that says, keep going when your body wants to quit. Think of it like fire. Uncontrolled, it burns everything. But harness it, contain it, and it becomes electricity. That's how successful people operate. They take that emotion and discipline it. They aim it like a sniper rifle, not a blind explosion. Every rep, every hour, every dollar earned, it's driven by rage that's been weaponized. You have to become dangerous, not reckless. Dangerous is calculated. Dangerous is when you know what you're capable of, but you choose to direct it with intelligence, not impulse. The world respects control. It fears discipline. Nobody is intimidated by someone who constantly breaks down. To mold it like steel and use it like a blade. You don't have to act like you're not mad. You just have to stop wasting that anger on things that don't matter. Stop fighting battles that distract from the war. Learn to sit in your fire without burning down your future. That's the art of control. That's what makes anger a weapon instead of a weakness. Your body is the first battlefield where your anger needs to be put to work. You want to change your life? Start by changing the one thing you carry every second of every day. Your body. You're angry? Good. Get under the bar. Run until your lungs scream. Push until your muscles shake. Too many people sit in their frustration when they should be sweating it out. You don't need to talk about how mad you are. You need to train. Channel that storm inside you into steel, reps, and pain. Pain that pays off. Most people treat fitness like a hobby, something optional, something aesthetic. That's why they stay weak. Not just physically, but mentally. Your body is a reflection of your mindset. When you let yourself fall apart, it's not just a sign of laziness, it's a sign. It's a sign that you stopped fighting. If you're angry at your life, your job, your bank account, why are you sitting still? Move, lift, run, bleed in training so you don't break in life. You should walk into the gym with fury in your eyes, not selfies in your hand. Anger fuels intensity, and intensity builds progress. Every time someone doubted you, every time life embarrassed you, every time you looked in the mirror and hated what you saw, that was fuel. And instead of using it to spiral, you use it to build. You use it to reshape yourself. It's not about vanity, it's about victory. Your strength is proof that you didn't fold. Every rep says, I'm still here. Every drop of sweat is revenge in motion. You can't fake strength, you can't talk it into existence. You have to earn it, one rep at a time, one day at a time. And the best part, the weights don't lie. The road doesn't lie. Your performance doesn't care about your excuses. That's why this arena is sacred. It's one of the few places where your anger becomes an asset. No politics, no talking, just work. It's the most honest mirror you'll ever face. Either you show up or you don't. Either you lift the weight or you don't. Your body is a message to the world. When people see you, they should know you've been through war and came out stronger. Anger doesn't need to be loud. Let it show in how you walk, how you carry yourself, how you perform under pressure. Let your body speak the words you don't say. When you put your anger into your body, you don't just get stronger, you get unbreakable. Frustration is a sign that something inside you still gives a damn. That's the spark before the fire. But what most people do when they feel it, they scatter. They let frustration control their mind like static noise, chaos, overthinking. They start 10 things and finish none. They talk about change, but they can't sit still long enough to make it real. That's the difference between losers and winners. Losers react, winners refocus. Winners refocus. They take that scattered energy and point it like a laser. If you're frustrated, that's good. That means you're not numb. That means you want more, and something inside you knows you're capable of more. But here's the truth. Wanting more doesn't get you anywhere. You have to lock in. Turn that frustration into a target. Pick something and attack it. Tunnel vision. Whether it's your finances, your body, your skills, you go all in. Not halfway. Not when it's convenient. Frustration is telling you something's wrong. Focus is how you. But if you can take that fire inside you and discipline it into daily action, then you become unstoppable. Not because you don't feel frustration, but because you command it. You ever notice how dangerous a focused person becomes? One who's pissed off, but patient. Hungry. But here's what the world won't tell you. Your haters are often your biggest asset. They're watching, they're talking, and they're betting on your failure. Good. Let them. Every time they open their mouth, they're giving you a reason to show up harder. When you hold yourself to a ruthless standard, you become dangerous, unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you become harder to shake. You build confidence not from hype, but from execution. Every day you show up, you reinforce that standard. It becomes who you are.